Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, aka the guy in lockdown that you have as much chance of seeing as the Snyder Cut. Just kidding, but not really. This week we have two massive new updates on the project, and it's very exciting news for fans of the director. Throughout this video, we're going to be breaking down statements by Justice League Stunt Co-Ordinator, Eunice Huthart, and Grace Randolph, who have both said they have inside news on the project. Before we get into the story, make sure you subscribe to the channel for a chance to win a copy of the Star Wars Skywalker Saga box set, which we're currently giving away to all subs that drop a comment. We're going to be choosing a winner at random on the 15th of April, and the set will be shipped out from then, so it's definitely something to look forward to if you're currently stuck indoors. Anyway, with that out of the way, thank you for clicking the video. Now let's get into our Snyder Cut updates. Okay, so Grace Randolph posted a video on the 23rd of March that outlined some of the things that she'd heard about the Snyder Cut, as well as what she thought was going to be happening on the project. I'll leave a full link in the description to her video and play the clip in just a bit, but just a quick catch up on Grace in case you haven't checked out her channel before. She's been doing movie reviews since long before I got into YouTube and has built a huge following for herself due to her being a diehard DC fan. I do think she's a very legitimate source, and though she's not right 100% of the time, she's lasted for so long on the platform because she's bang on with a lot of things. She was even given a cameo in Zombieland 2, so yeah, she does have a lot of connections in the industry, and this is why the information is more authentic than others. Okay, so just some context on the clip. In it, Grace talks about whether Wonder Woman 1984 will move to streaming in the wake of a report last week from The Wrap. She discusses how HBO Max is launching in May, in the US only for the meantime, and next year in other countries. She discusses the flaws in this and how it's unlikely that the Snyder Cut will release when the platform does. However, she does state that it may be used as a dangling carrot to drive subscriptions. She also talks about how there are elements that Zack wishes to change and finish before releasing, but not what these are or what could be happening. Anyway, here's the clip which discusses things in more detail.
As we've discussed before on Twitter, this is my first time discussing it in a video, HBO Max had hoped to make the Snyder Cut part of its launch, or at least part of its launch announcement. So like you wouldn't get the Snyder Cut at launch, but it would be coming very soon, and that would inspire people to sign up for the service. But I've heard, again from my sources, that Snyder wants to shoot several new scenes that require VFX work. And of course, now they can't do that. So HBO Max suddenly doesn't have that carrot either. Now yes, a finished version of the Snyder Cut does exist. He's put out photos of it. A handful of people have seen it, and they've loved it. And I can understand that some of you might be like, well again, under the circumstances, just give me what you got. But, I mean, I think that would be a mistake. From what I've heard of what he wants to add, it will mean the difference between diehard fans having the satisfaction of finally seeing it versus piquing the interest of even the casual fans and naysayers. It's that cool. He really has some cool ideas for what he wants to add to this. And since he's waited this long, I think he should hold off until he can do it the way he wants to. I mean, the Snyder Cut has taken on, like, mythological proportions at this point. It's a legend. And you can imagine the intense pressure to live up to that legend. And I think the additional stuff that he has planned will allow him to do that for sure. Trust me. So the Snyder Cut, I think, for the time being, is off the board.
So there are two things that we can take from this. The first being that the Snyder Cut is pretty much off the board in terms of being released on HBO Max when it drops. HBO Max is launching in May, and as we've had no official word from either Warner Brothers or people close to the project, then it's highly unlikely that it will be dropping with it. It's now almost a month away, and as I'm sure you can guess, CGI takes a lot longer than this to fully finish. HBO Max is also going to be exclusive to America for a long time, and therefore I don't think it's a smart move to put it out when only a specific part of the world can get it. Secondly, Grace also states that Zack is looking to add new scenes and VFX to the work. We do know from the cryptic post that Snyder put out recently that he was looking to reshoot certain elements of the movie. This could potentially add things, and all in all it was going to be done to complete his vision. So I think due to time constraints and the fact that everything is shut down right now in Hollywood, we can safely say that the project will not be releasing with the new streaming service. That being said, it also does seem likely that Zack is still working on things, and recently on his Vero he posted an image of the 5 heroes in the film. We know that Superman was going to be the 6th hero, and Zack did confirm in the comments that Green Lantern would be the 7th. So he is clearly putting a lot of thought into the project, and I do believe that he will be working on it. Anyway, I've linked the full video that Grace dropped in the comments section below, so if you want to see more of the ins and outs of that, then definitely go check it out after this. Now, as for the second story, this comes from the Justice League stunt coordinator Eunice Huthart, who recently has been doing the rounds promoting Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Huthart was also the stunt coordinator on that, and when conversation turned to the rumoured JJ cut, things also naturally went to the Snyder Cut. According to the stunt woman, she's spoken with several people out there that have seen the film, and they told her that it was absolutely amazing. Huthart spoke to website Screen Rant and said the following: "Yeah, there's a few questions about that, and I'm sure that I'm okay to say I officially know people who've seen the Snyder Cut and said that it's absolutely amazing. I do believe that that's the movie we were making, Zack Snyder's version of the film. You know, with the heartache of what happened with his daughter, we pulled out and did the reshoots of it, so the movie took a slightly different turn. So from this, we do know that they were indeed heading in one direction, and then the reshoots completely changed the tone of the film, which, in my opinion, did leave it feeling disjointed from the prior DC films Man of Steel and BVS. Huthart further went on to say, "I watched the cinema release of the film, and I text Zack to say, what's this I'm hearing about this Snyder Cut? I need to see it. He did promise me next time I'm in LA that I'll go watch it, so I will at some point definitely go and watch the Snyder Cut. And I have spoken to people who actually said it's brilliant. They said it's absolutely golden." So we do know that the Snyder Cut is complete editing wise, and that Zack has copies of it. It has long been said that the VFX on the film are incomplete, and that this is the main thing holding it back, but of course they are now looking at reshoots. The majority of stars on the film, including Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck, have come forth and said that they support the release of the movie, and we did have an interview with Jason Momoa that dropped last year in which he said the following when discussing the project.
Zack Snyder's your
Totally,
guy.
man.
He changed
Totally.
your life.
Totally.
So is that partially why when we spoke about a year ago, some fans are obsessed with the so-called Snyder Cut of Justice League, like an alternate cut.
Yeah.
Are you, I mean...
I'm obsessed with it too.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I mean, that's just one thing that sucks with our business where you just can't speak your mind, but yeah.
And I brought up the Snyder Cut, you're like, yeah, I need to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have seen it, so.
I've seen
the Snyder Cut, so.
So what does that mean? Because the effects aren't done. Like you've seen his assemblage of footage and alternate takes, etc.
Oh, do you think Zack couldn't finish it? You don't think he?
I don't know. You tell me. He's finished.
I mean, listen, man. Next question. Bro.
Do you think we'll ever see it? Do you think the public will ever see it at this point? Because it seems like it's actually the groundswell has grown. And a year ago, I would have had my doubts.
You know, I'm obviously indebted to Warner's and DC, and you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but I mean,
right. As
a fan, I'm very, very happy that I got to see it.
Does it feel like a totally different movie than the Justice League that was released?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's hoping.
So there's clearly a lot of evidence that the cut does exist and that Zack is still highly invested in it. However, I don't think that it will see release on HBO Max upon the service's release, and if it did, this would likely be a watered down version due to the nature of the special effects needing to be finished. I really hope we do get it, but these statements definitely fill me with a lot of confidence that one day we will get to see its release. Fans are clearly desperate to watch it, and I think that if we don't, it will always be something that nags at diehard DC fans like myself. Hopefully when it's out we can turn our attention to the next cut that everyone wants to see, which is of course the butthole cut for Cats. I'm not kidding, there's a version of Cats with buttholes in that someone had to CGI in and then CGI out one by one. Maybe one day we'll be lucky enough to have nightmares about that, but till that time I'd settle for the Snyder Cut being dropped. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on these updates and whether they've made you more or less excited for the project. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up and make sure you check out a breakdown of the full story on the competition Snyder threw that hinted towards there being reshoots. That kind of fills in one of the big points in this video that I didn't really want to repeat myself with, so definitely go check it out after this. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you, you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at DefinitionYT or click the Discord link in the description below. Those are the best ways to keep up to date with heavy spoilers, so hopefully we'll see you over there very soon. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.